All right, guys, so we need to do a little bit of maintenance on the truck and trailer here. I'm gonna start out with changing these tires out. I'm not gonna film me sitting there changing the tires out. What I did want to address is a couple of things I'm gonna be doing. One of them is changing the tires out. These tires aren't that old. They got maybe 65,000 miles on them. They're a brand new set right here. And the reason I'm changing them out is this thing has developed a strange wear pattern. If you see, this tire is feathered on the inside one is worse, and there it's rounded the corner off. And as I say, this tire 65,000 miles on them. I was wondering what the issue is, so I got it jacked up here. And this trailer only has 200,000 miles on it, so that's another thing I'm going to be doing. I did a thorough inspection of it, 100,000 of brakes and everything. So I'm going to do the one at 200,000 as well. You know, jack it up, make sure all the wheel bearings and everything feel good. These hub ends here, these grease style hub ends that are supposed to be good for 500,000 miles. You're not supposed to have to touch them for 5 years or 500,000 miles, whichever occurs first. They're warranted for that. But I think what I've discovered here is there's a little bit of slack in this wheel bearing. It's not very much, but you can feel it if you grab the tire with both hands. I don't know if I can do it with my foot or not, if you'll be able to hear or feel. I can feel it move just a touch. I seriously doubt the camera's gonna pick it up. I'm gonna try to set you guys over here somewhere and grab it and shake it and see if maybe you can tell. Set you guys right there, and I'm gonna grab it and try to shake it, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. But I can hear it and I can feel it. So there's a little bit of play in that hub assembly there, and that wheel bearing. I do not know if I got a socket to take it apart, or I mean to tighten it up. And as I say, you're not really supposed to touch these, but I think that's what's causing my tire issue. That, and I've been running a lot of empty miles lately. So the mill that I usually haul out of is closed down. Supposed to be temporary. Not sure if it's going to be temporary or if it's going to turn out permanently or what. But anyway, I'm having to drive probably 80 something miles empty to another mill to pick up loads, and things aren't going really good in the trucking. If you're in trucking, you already know that, no surprise to you. Things are not well, and you're probably doing good just to hold on to what you got if you're doing that good. So it's kind of where I'm at as well, and hate I have to replace these tires. I'm going to go ahead and replace both of them. I think the last ones on here went over 100,000 on the rear axle, and I think I got 130 or 40 out of the ones on the front axle. So these should be about half life, but as you see, the one on the inside is really worn down. This one is still okay, but it is starting to wear in the same spot right here. And if I put a new tire on the inside and leave this one of them is not going to last very long. So I'm going to have to put two new ones on here again, and then I will address this probably a little bit later. It feels to turn smoothly and freely and everything. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and change these tires out, and then I'm going to get up under there. I'm going to jack up each wheel and turn it like that, make sure everything looks good on it. I'm going to get up under it and grease it and check all the brakes and stuff. All right, you can see a little more about what I'm talking about there. That's kind of unacceptable for 65,000 miles. The rest of the tire is good all the way around. Just that one spot. Looks fine all the way around. So anyway, I got the air getting out of that one. Fixing to let the air out of this one, and we'll get them changed out. All right, guys, so I pulled the brake drum off of here. I looked up the specs on these axle ends right here. It's a HX L5 Hendrickson axle, and anyway, the specs, it says 1/1000 to 5/1000 in play. You're supposed to pull this off and set this up on the end of your spindle, but they don't really want you removing this It avoids your warranty, which I'm not too concerned about that, but I don't have any more of this grease that goes in here, so I don't want to pull it off unless I have to. So I've got it set up right here, and it looks like I'm getting about 2 to 3 thousandths. I don't know if I can set you guys up here so you can check out the gauge there, and I'll try to pull on this. It's not the best way to do it, but I'm trying. Maybe you guys will be able to see the needle there. I'm gonna try to grab this and push it inwards and outward. I'm bumping the gauge. What I did there. I'm gonna try not to rotate it while I'm pulling. It's about 2 to 3 thousandths, which is in spec. So I guess we're not going to worry about messing with it. I'm just going to put these tires on here and finish doing what I was going to do, grease it, inspect it and everything. Had to wait on it to cool off out here a little bit. It's been kind of hot out here, so I went in the house, took a break, let it cool down for a little bit, and so that's what I'm going to do. I did look up on these wheel ends the way they adjust, and it has a locking washer on the spindle here with 2 screws supposedly. You pull those 2 screws out, and it's got a little lock washer thing that's got teeth in it, and a notch in the spindle that holds the lock washer. And anyway, you pull that locking washer out that's got the teeth on it, you can rotate your axle nut to adjust your bearing preload, and then you put that lock washer back on into the teeth notches, and that holds the bearings from adjusting or coming loose, and then you put your 2 screws back in. I don't exactly remember how my last trailer was done. It's been a long time ago, but that's how this one is supposed to be done according to the literature I read. And it's supposed to be 1 to 5 thousandths preload. So we got about 2 to 3 there, or in play I should say, not preload, in play. So anyway, that seems to be fine. We're going to put the new tires back on there. I got them mounted back here. So this is the document I was talking about here. I got pulled up on my phone. You can see the washer I was talking about with the little screws here and the little teeth inside that nut right there. So you can kind of see how that works. I don't know if this is a HN or HP spindle. The adjustment is the same on them, pretty much, other than the socket size and the torque specs on the outer cap screws there, but a little better view of that locking washer nut there. So I want to take a look at our brake shoes right here. You see the notch in the lining right there. Trailer's got 215,000 miles on it, so that's not too bad. Everything looks good on it so far. All right, we got both the new tires mounted on there. Everything looks good. Those are actually 16 ply tires. I didn't even realize that when I ordered them, but anyway, they're a little better than what I had on there. Maybe they'll wear a little better. I'm thinking maybe running all these empty miles may have something to do with why the other ones developed that funny wear pattern. But anyway, we'll try these and see how it goes. All right, guys, so working on my trailer right here. This is the toolbox I keep my straps and bungees, torque straps and all in, my strap roller, winch bar, all that nonsense. Anyway, I unload and load sometimes at nighttime, and it's very difficult to find my strap roller a lot of times because it slides around in the box and whatever. I can usually find my straps okay and my winch bar. I keep it at the front. But when it comes to finding my strap roller or getting my bungees untangled over there, I usually just wad them up. I know some people have a fancy way to put them in there, but my experience with them, they always get tangled up anyways. So anyway, it makes it a little bit difficult to see. So I've been thinking about this for several years. I was actually going to do this on my other trailer, and I never did. I wanted to put a light inside the box. I've kind of looked over different ways to do it. I was thinking about some of those 3M LED strips, and putting in there and putting like a door switch on it or a magnetic switch that would make the LEDs come on and off and all of that. And just seemed to be overcomplicated. I'm not sure how long that would last. And so I got to thinking about these LED lights right here that actually come on the trailer for running lights. As you see right here, these are amber, and it has some red ones on the back there, but these are clear. So just a 3/4 inch version, 3/4 inch clear version of that right there. And so I'm thinking I can put like 5 of these in there. That's what I got laid out right there. And I've got some marks. I don't know if you can see inside this dark toolbox, but I got some marks up here at the top where I'm going to space them and drill holes down and push them in and wire them from the back side. And I don't know how bright they'll be, but I think they'll be plenty bright enough for what I want to do. In fact, it may be overkill when you get it out in a pitch black. Don't really know, but that's what I got in mind. And I'm going to wire them to this one up here on the running lights, so that whenever you turn the running lights on, the lights in the box will be on. Because if you're unloading at night or you're loading at night, you're going to have your running lights on, and so the box will be lit up. And these things are designed to last hundreds or thousands of hours or whatever, so it should be durable enough to do that. Shouldn't be an issue. And every time I need something out of my box, it should be lit up with no issues. So we're going to try 5 of them. I've got my drill out right there with a hole saw, and I've got a vacuum cleaner over here. I'm going to try to suck up the metal shavings so that they don't get all down in my box. I may have to move some of these straps out of there and clean some of that up. But anyway, I'm gonna get the holes drilled, and then we'll get it wired up, and we'll see what it looks like.
Three to go.
All right, guys, so I'm not going to be able to film this. Probably the light's not too good, but what I'm using for wire, I got this 16-4 trailer wire connector cable here. Anyway, some leftover stuff I had. I'm going to use the black and white out of it because that's what the wires on the back of those LEDs are. And I got a soldering gun here and some solder, heat shrink, and I'm going to get back here behind this. It's quite a long reach back there, but I can reach back there, get my head up in there, kind of reach the wires back there, and hopefully get those soldered together. And start at this end of the box down here, run the wire along, solder into it, and then run up here to this other marker light. All right, guys, so I have got them hooked up here. I hadn't finished my final solder connection on the trailer. I just turned the lights on. I actually had the camera on, but I got a SD card error. Anyway, they're not all that bright. They're not as bright as I was hoping they would be, but they're bright enough that they're going to work and definitely help me out. I mean, I could definitely see. Got the shop lights out right now. It is pitch black in here. As you see the back of the trailer right here. You can't even see my finger in front of the camera. There's a toolbox. There's a marker light. You can see, well, this GoPro doesn't do very good at nighttime, but you can definitely see in here in order to see enough to grab a strap roller and my bungees and all that stuff. So I think it's going to work. It's not quite as bright as I would like it to be, but it's bright enough that it's going to do the job that I wanted it to do. It's pitch black out here right now, so, and that's with 5 of them. I could have did a few more, I guess, but I figured 5 of them would be sufficient, and I believe it will be. I mean, it's pitch black. I wish this camera was doing a little bit better at picking that up. I'm about 4 foot from it right now. I don't know if you can see my hand. Not really. Camera just does not work very well in the dark. I don't know if I could try the nighttime setting on it, maybe it'll work a little better. All right, we're gonna try that right there. Got the low light setting on the camera. I don't know if it's any better or not, but I'm standing about 3 to 4 foot away from the box, probably about 4 foot away from the box there. It's not as bright as I hoped it would be, but it's definitely bright enough that I can see in there in order to get my strap roller out and not fishing in the dark in there. See what kind of difference that makes on the low light setting. You can see all 5 of them on there. This is looking down into the box. GoPro doesn't work very well at nighttime, but maybe you guys can get an idea. I can definitely see a lot better, and that'll be a big help for loading and unloading at nighttime, I do believe. So I'm going to turn the shop lights back on and solder up my last connection. That'll be a wrap on that project. All right, guys, well, I got that all wired up and tidied up there. I think that's going to work okay. Wish it was just a touch brighter, but I mean, they're going to work the way they are. It's a whole lot more light than I did have in there anyways. And a lot of times, you know, I really don't need all that much. Just a little bit extra would help, because a lot of times I have light from, you know, street lights and whatnot, but there's a couple of places it's pitch black, and the only thing you have is your marker lights on the side of the trailer. And when it's pitch black, the marker lights are bright enough on the side of the trailer when you're walking down that kind of blinds you anyway, and then you're trying to stare into a pitch black toolbox here, and you can't see anything. So those those lights in there will definitely help with that aspect. I think I'll be able to find everything a whole lot better instead of having to try to pull my phone out and look around in there and dig through there that way. So anyway, got the new tires on there, as you see, the lights in the box. I've got the trailer and everything greased, and so I think I'm going to wait and grease the truck probably tomorrow, or maybe catch it next weekend. I don't know yet. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.